Greetings YouTube, this is J.Phammington. What's your name and what do you do, man?
Hi, my name is Michael Lee. I got 5th place at the Fort Worth Regional by Sci-Fi Factory in April. There was 500 people at the event. And I was able to do it with Swordsoul, or I like to call it Terran.
Okay.
So this is the... During the event, I think this deck actually did really well. I really liked the list. I was X1 at the end. The only match I lost was a match. It was round 2, and it was 100% like I should have won that game 3. But I didn't see the line. I was just too tired, like with schoolwork and everything. Like I was just getting 4 hours of sleep, like days consecutive towards the event. And I should have like drunk Red Bull before playing. Like game 2, I just lost. It should have been like drink 1, 2, 3, drink 4, 5, 6, drink 7, 8, 9 rounds. But like instead I just went 1, 2, lost round 2 for no reason. Drink 3, drink 4, 5, 6, drink 7, 8, 9. So it's like, yeah, drink caffeine, guys. Aside from that, this is another quick note is please stop pile shuffling. Everyone in this game loves to pile shuffle, and it's not very good. So in MTG, pile shuffling is like it's a bannable offense. It's not good. Pile shuffling is not a randomizing technique. After you pile shuffle your deck, the randomization of your deck has not changed since prior to pile shuffling. You're arranging your cards into preset patterns, and because there's a pattern, it is not randomized. In Magic, it is especially bad because of land, like they can pile shuffle lands, so they can have like land spell, land spell, land spell. That is just not okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! You can also have the same issue where after pile shuffling, you can have like staple engine, staple engine, staple engine. That's not okay. You can also have like starter extender, starter extender. That's also not okay. Sometimes it would just flood with staples. Sometimes it would just flood with engine. That's true randomization. But after people pile shuffle, they should like actually do mash riffle shuffles. But mathematically, you need to do 7 mash shuffles to get true randomization, but people are not doing 7, they just do 4. And doing 4 doesn't mean that your deck is like half randomized, because the mathematical relation is not linear. So if you do 4, it's actually less than half, and like once you get 7, like it's not a linear curve, there's a curvature to it. So like after 7, you'll get to like 95 or something % randomization. You can also ask ChatGPT if pile shuffling is like a proper technique of randomization. It will just straight out say no. Like you're never walking to a casino and see people like pile shuffle playing cards. It's just ridiculous.
They riff.
But yeah, I mentioned pile shuffling a lot because this deck, everything is a percentage play. There's a lot of probability in Yu-Gi-Oh! And like the whole point is like you want to play the highest percentages, right? It doesn't matter what your emotions tell you, it doesn't matter how you feel, everything is just a percentage. So here's the deck. For one concept I want to stress with this deck is the build around. So shout outs to LS for bringing up this concept for League of Legends draft, but the idea of the build around also stems from NTG, where the build around are cards that you build your deck around, right? This includes cards like Nexus of Fate or like Rot Priest. These are like very key cards that will provide you with the highest chance of winning. Another way to look at it is like in poker, right? There's like EV, which is expected value. You want to go for the highest EV plays. Well, in Yu-Gi-Oh, the EV basically centralizes around the build around. As long as you get access to your build around, you have a higher chance of winning versus like anything else you do. Like be it traps, staples, or anything. This is just focused on the build around. So for my deck, I play 3 Ashina, 40 cards in main by the way, 3 Ashina, 2 Vishuddha, 2 Adhara. I only play 2 Vishuddha and 2 Adhara because you cannot open too much engine, you need counter spells. Counter spells are important to deny your opponent's build around, so everything revolves around the build around. You play 3 Circle and the Shatana, just so you need some outplay potential. You don't want to like be dead in the water, you have to have some, fluidity. And as far as the build around goes, 3 Ecclesia, 3 Moye, 3 Taya, and the Emergence. The 3 Taya is the build around. Moye Taya is the build around. We do not care about the Long Yang. You need to summon the level 8s. And that's why I play the 3 Taya. The amount of percentage this gives you is really, really high. This is also why like you play the 3 Taya but only 1 Blackout, because Blackout's not the build around. The build around's level 8s, so you maximize on the BA. So of course the 3 Long Yang is the extender, Desires, because why not? And the 1 of Tactics is just really good as a 1 of because you'll never have the duplicate, and the 1 Blackout. For the counter spells, it's 3 Ash, 3 Nibs, 3 Imperm, and the Veiler. The Veiler is absolutely necessary. It's not a random throw-in. Obviously, we need to make deck 40, but Veiler is the best main deckable counter spell. And you don't want too much Veilers, because like Imperm, I also play Game on the side, we'll bring up later. So like, but having it at 1 to like flush out the ratios is definitely a good thing. And that is the main deck.
So main deck 40.
40 cards. Going into the extra deck, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you guys might be confused. I'm gonna ignore this for now. We'll get back to it. This right here is the build around. If you summon Chisha and you summon Baxia, you're good. Most of the time when Swordsoul is losing is when they cannot summon these, or they summon these and it just gets interrupted, destroyed, right? If these resolve successfully, you're in very good shape. It's, again, percentages. This gives you the highest percentages. This is also why 3 Taya is really good. When going second, you want to open with the Taya, because Moye Baxia only shuffles 1, Taya Baxia shuffles 2, and the Taya will mill the Moye, and the Baxia gets the Moye back, and the Moye will then summon the Chisha. So you get both going second. But you want to start with the Taya, not the Moye going second. So the third Taya is really good. And obviously, this is not really the build around, but you just use it for push, protection, Baron, and these. Yazi doesn't come up much anymore, but you still have to play it. There are some situations where if Kash banishes like all of your Tayas, all of your Moyes, then the next best thing you can do is, you have Longyang and Ashina summon Diakhara, 6+1, 7, start pushing. These are also like, it's like a pseudo build around. If you had to choose, like if you had to just like level 10 pass, the best one would probably be Qixing Longyang. Like you don't get to draw one, so that it doesn't feel good, but like just being able to banish twice in this current meta especially is really good. Like against Kash, you can banish Field Spell, Birth, yeah, and you just hope that it's enough, But Baron is like only there for protection. Like if you already have the Chisha, then might as well get protection. But if you have to level 10 pass, might as well do this. And this is good for just killing, going for game, and like outing cards. Now, addressing the Link monsters. The reason why we play these is because of D-Barrier. When the opponent flips D-Barrier, you just have to cut your losses. You are never going to synchro summon, but you still need to apply pressure to the board. Like, board breakers don't do anything against D-Barrier. Like, you just have to you have to push with monsters. The line you do is, you go Shaman, attack with Monk, Shaman pops a spell trap, and you link these into this to pop their monsters. So you pop a back row, you pop their monsters, and if you have like additional normal summon or whatever, you end on this. It's 3k. Lady Labrynth is 29 defense, so in some situations you just have to kill it, crash and kill it. It's a little bit annoying against Kash, like for Kash to deal with, because the effect is if there's tokens on field, it can't be targeted. Kash is all targeting. Obviously, it's not real. Like Labrynth can out it with Big Welcome, and Kash can out it with Scareclaw. But like, again, it's about the push. I only made it once in the regional against the one Labrynth match. I lost the game that I made it, but I still think like it should be in here because he just had too much engine. He had the field spell and everything. If he didn't have the field spell, or maybe only had like one trap or one lady, perhaps this would have been able to push through. I was pushing through skill I believe it was D-Barrier and then skill drain that game. This can also push through skill drain just because it's a big monster. What's also nice is Draco Berserker can use generic link materials. So while everything else requires Worm, Draco Berserker, if you like say Tactic Steel or like you have an Ibli or something random in your field, you can just make this and then link it into a 4. You go for push.
Draco Masters, you mean?
Yeah, Draco Masters. And that's the extra deck. Now for the side deck, it is all counter spells, hand traps. So this is for Kash. You shotgun it, you just hope they break. Kash is not the best in terms of consistency, and if you just shotgun it, most of the time, like again, percentages. Sometimes it plays through Lancia, but you just have to go for the highest percentage. And the reason why we're playing Lancia instead of, let's say, like Book of Eclipse is that Book of Eclipse hits the field. Remember how I talked about the BA, the build around? If the build around is on the field, then Eclipse is good. But if the build around is not on the field, Eclipse is bad. Let me give you an example. The build around for Kash is a Rise Heart. The Rise Heart is sitting on field. So you can Kaiju it, you can Eclipse it, and that is good. But let's say you're playing against Mathmic. The build around for Mathmic is circular. Like, Eclipse is not going to hit circular. They already resolved the circular, went plus on their turn. And like same with other decks, right? A lot of their build arounds, like D-Link, would be like Chaos Space, Baby Dragons, Lubellion. Eclipse is not doing anything, but like Lancia can. Like against D-Link, they Chaos Space, and you just chain Lancia. It stops their build around, which is the Baby Dragons. So counter spells are a must. Droll, this is for Tearlaments. Right now, the current, don't underestimate Tearlaments. Obviously, the deck is not very reliable, but they still have the same like power level, I suppose. I don't know if that makes sense. But a lot of tier plays requires Kash tier cards, which is Law Searching. They're like, they activate Raceoff, and you just roll them. And Finner can't even search Tearlament Kash. It didn't come up because they didn't play against tier, but I'm still going to keep it in moving forward just because it hits it. It also hits D-Link. D-Link is a matchup you have to care about because the deck has no in-engine out to Borland, so you can't get caught lacking. And D-Link does a lot of searching. Also, hybrid decks, this is really good against. The only way for hybrid decks to be consistent is to rely on a lot of searchers. And like moving forward with a lot of rogue decks or random decks, I don't even want to call them rogue because like in terms of power, like they can compete. So like you just need the Droll to, as a counterspell, stop their build around. Highest percent, go for the percent. Bell was really good today. Again, against Labrynth, you don't care about the back row. You don't care about Lightning Storm. Like you don't want to play Lightning Storm or evenly match. Back row removal is not going to do anything against Virus or D-Barrier. What you want to do is attack the Labrynth engine, right? You don't want them to put Lady on field. You don't want them to comfortably use Lady Effect and get a ton of recursion. So the moment they activate Big Welcome, you just want to bell it. Just deny them from getting the engine. And that is the build around. Like the traps, when they trade with the traps, they go neg. So if you deny them from getting Lady, you can even like attack with Taya and just go for game. Just like to gradually push. And Ogre, again, it's good against Spright. You don't want to, get caught lacking at Spright. But like 3 Ogre is just too much as well, because like Ogre is hard once per turn. And unlike the other hand traps where you really shotgun against your starters, Ogre waits for him to make a play. So 3 kind of clogs. And also just to make room for the Gamma. It's like the premier counterspell. It's like generally everything, so you just have to play it. Going back to the counterspells, these are the ones we side. And this is the ones that we main. There's just a ton of counterspells. You want to deny their BA. As long as you deny their build around, you deny their highest percent line of winning. So this pretty much covers every matchup in the game. I'm pretty sure if I ever play against a deck that I've never seen before, there's probably going to be a hand trap here that would answer it. And counterspells are very, very important.
So you didn't miss having the other 2 Veilers anywhere in the side deck either?
Again, like, you already play the Gamma, so like, decks that Veiler hits, Gamma also hits,
okay,
which is already like a lot. So
right,
you're just having too many cards for one matchup or like one mode of stop. Like there's some decks that Veiler and Imprim does nothing against, right?
Right.
Like against Tearlaments, you don't want these cards. Like stopping Reinhardt is not going to do anything because
right,
they want to step their grave first before they get Reinhardt. Probably drawing cards off Shell Beast and everything. So you need cards like Bell, like Gamma or Droll. And if they are playing D-Link without Rockets, like again, these cards don't do much. You're going to negate Lubellion, but they're already getting the Baby Dragons and Seals and everything going. So you need like other hand traps that are not the same kind.
Okay.
I would definitely describe this deck as Terran. If you know, you know. It's really difficult to play. It's not very forgiving, but like you're rewarded with like the ability to like to play control and grind, and the deck has like a lot of reliability and flexibility. So that is the technical overview of my deck. I actually wouldn't even change anything. This is probably like what I'm gonna run until like maybe the next ban list or something happens. Again, like shoutouts to LS, he's just the GOAT with everything related to esports and game theory. Like the BA concept like fleshes out everything because everything is just the percent line. Like nothing is an auto win. You just go for the highest percent. And like when you look at the game in terms of BA, like all these hand traps make sense. It's just the highest percent line play. I 2-0'd basically every Spright I played against today. Played against like a couple branded that also won. Only like again I lost against Kash because I was just super tired and I should have won. But yeah, overall there was nothing that needs to be changed.
Any other shoutouts?
Shoutouts to Joshua Pham and Samuel Yang for buying me the whole deck. They literally bought me the Baron for the reprint, like literally the whole deck. I wouldn't be playing it if they didn't buy it for me. Shoutouts to Fritz Copes, William Boyle Kramer. I don't know his names. Ordered it late. Yeah, the people from Austin. Shoutouts to friends and family.
All right. Thank you for the deck profile.
Yep.